All right, gotta warm up the fingers here. All right, gotta get them all limber, get some jazz hands going, because I think we're gonna have to do some clicking today, piloting this combo deck. Hey folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another direct to YouTube special. This one is a brew by Apple Pie's 96, a legacy Jeskai Ascendancy deck. So if you haven't played against this in one format or another over the last few years, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn, and untap those creatures. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you can loot. So, 3 mana enchantment. We better win if we put it in play, right? Okay, here's the goal. If we have an Emry in play and a Jeskai Ascendancy, we tap the Emry to target some zero-cost thing in our graveyard, alright? Like, let's say a Lotus Petal. And we cast the Lotus Petal. The Lotus Petal is a non-creature spell, so our Emry gets +1/+1, and we untap that. And then we can use this to net a whole bunch of mana and create an infinite-sized Emry, and then swing for lethal. And we can potentially also use this to draw some cards, albeit slowly, via Urza's Bauble. Another way we can go and do this is with Fate Stitcher, which lets you tap or untap another target permanent, and this thing has Unearth, so we don't have to go and pay full price for this. We can just discard it via a Jeskai Ascendancy and then use that as a way to go off. As you can see, other than just attacking with a very large creature, there's not a real win condition in the main deck. We have to use our Burning Wish to pull something out of the sideboard. We have a Grape Shot. Awesome. We have a Banefire. Classy. And we have this Giganta. Because, well, you know, it's an elk. And it casts Jeskai Ascendancy. So I guess that's cool. It's kind of a free roll with this deck, and sometimes we might just need a 5/5 to close the game if our opponent has something annoying in play. I don't know how this deck is gonna go. I've played Jeskai Ascendancy in, I think, both Modern and Legacy, but it was multiple years ago at this point. So we'll kind of see how things come together. I'm excited for this one, although I'm also a little bit nervous. Basically, I think we have like a real good 3-card sideboard here in that we have access to these things in game 1, and then we have the ability to make some small adjustments in other games. I'm not going to do an extended deck tech for this one. I'm just going to crash right into these games because I'm excited to see how they go. If you're excited about this one, please consider throwing me a like before this video gets started. And if you want to see your own deck on the old YouTube, donation information is always in the video description. Let's battle. All right, round 1, I don't think I have a reasonable opening hand here. I don't have enough mana. I have a redraw. This Mox Amber isn't live currently. No? This also feels like a no. This is a yes. We will keep this one. I'll pitch 1 Jeskai Ascendancy. And I guess the Bauble? Keep the Fate Stitcher in an attempt to actually go off. Maybe I'm a burn deck. You don't know, opponent. I could be doing anything over here. I don't like being against blue decks here. Without Teferi, I don't have a ton of protection against counterspells in game 1 scenarios. No artifact for Emry yet. Are we just gonna stare at each other for a while? Nobody makes a move. Alright. Which cantrips do I have, by the way? Brainstorm and 3 Ponder. Okay. My hand is so bad if this does not resolve. But I think I've just got a jam. Like, if my opponent is playing something like Sneak and Show, I just need to resolve this. This could be a number of things. Some sort of Uro pile probably being the most likely. Alright, I have resolved my Jeskai Ascendancy. I need to draw a non-creature spell so that I can loot the Fate Stitcher. And if I don't draw a non-creature, I guess I play like a full cost Emry next turn. I'm definitely scared, because it feels like my opponent could be like a blue-green Omnitel deck of some nature, or like Eureka Tel, if they're not just an Uro pile. Alright. So Mold of 5 is costly here. Like, I just don't have the necessary cards to, like, start going off, even though I have, like, the correct pieces to go off. My opponent's Brainstorm timing is kind of interesting if they are actually a combo deck. The good news is, if they just, like, show and tell in a creature, I can just tap it down with a Fate Stitcher later. Wow, I missed on an artifact, too. That's brutal. Yep, alright. Are we dead? All F6, and you can tell me if we're dead. I can beat that. But I am just stone cold dead on the spot to an Emrakul, which I assume this just gets an Emrakul and I die. My body is ready. Yep, alright. I think my opponent is just going to be the faster and more consistent combo deck here, unfortunately. Am I going to sideboard literally 0 cards? Feels like I'm going to sideboard literally 0 cards. Blood Moon's not good. I want more for grindy matchups. The Omniscience gets in play. I assume I'm already dead, so Nature's Chant isn't great. Yep. Sideboard 0. Let's see if this works out. But I don't like my odds. Well, can't really go much faster than, like, turn 3. I don't know that I can mulligan to find a faster hand. I guess I'll just keep this. And I can Mystical Dispute my opponent's Show and Tell, or maybe their first cantrip or something. think I just let this go and maybe end up playing a control role. I might even play the Teferi before I play the Jeskai Ascendancy if I can't go off the same turn. Um, I think I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm in response to their brainstorm. Get a feel for where this hand is going. God damn it. Get blue-white here. And since I have another one of these now, I think I'm just going to grab their brainstorm. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a turn to Teferi first before playing Jeskai Ascendancy. If Teferi gets countered so that Jeskai Ascendancy can resolve, that's great. If Teferi sits in play and is threatening, that's also fine. Not sure that I can realistically go off next turn. Like, I can play Jeskai Ascendancy, play Bobble, Loot, and make an attempt. This card doesn't replace itself immediately, which is kind of a big deal. Well, let's attempt. All right. Oh shit, I need to discard my Fate Stitcher there. I'm an idiot. Do I keep going now? So I can play this out and hold up Mystical Dispute. But I lack the things to realistically go off this turn. I guess let's just go ahead and do this. Yeah, since I have like some things like counterspells and stuff that I can hit, I'm not just like guaranteed to go off once I start Fate Stitchering. I think this round is probably an indication of how most of the rest of this league is going to go. Like, we require Jeskai Ascendancy plus Fate Stitcher plus, a handful of cards in hand to actually go off. Or Jeskai Ascendancy plus Emry plus a 0 cost thing that I can recur. Just want to wait one turn, take one more draw. Probably. The fact that these baubles don't replace themselves immediately makes this worse than some of the other, like, fully cantrip-based versions that I've seen and played before. Okay, I'm comfortable enough making an attempt now. And just always yes to this Jeskai Ascendancy thing either. Alright. Super sucks if I get surgical extraction, by the way. Which I assume is what's happening here. Please. Yeah, alright. Yep. Not very optimistic about winning here. Losing out on this is such a big deal. So my opponent left my Face Stitcher in my graveyard. So yeah, there's a chance. Uh, yeah, so like these cards are not replacing themselves, so like this is just like not gonna work. That's very awkward. Yeah, I don't think this deck that I'm playing actually works. I guess I just, like, cast this. Yeah, this is, this is probably not going to go infinite very consistently at all. Like, now I have to find another thing to start going off with as well. Uh, this is not good. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Alright, and Omniscience is gone. Alright, end me. Yep, that'll do. That'll do. So I think I really need to mulligan to try to find either an Emry or a Jeskai Ascendancy in my opening hand, given how that last game went. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mulligan here. Will do. Got two of the things I'm looking for. Throw back the Mystical Dispute. Maybe this time around, if we're not playing against a combo deck, we can have time to, like, get a Giganta into play and then, like, untap that with Jeskai Ascendancy. We'll get basics here. Look at a random card in your hand. Oh, Meddling Mage. It is not Death and Taxes. Okay. Oh, that's a win condition. What if they Meddling Mage Jeskai Ascendancy? I don't think that's gonna happen, but it would be pretty damn funny. The Teferi and the Mystical Dispute that are in my graveyard currently are probably at least somewhat confusing to my opponent, as is my companion. They might just name my companion with the Meddling Mage here. Yes. Alright, I have sufficiently confused them. This is taking them a while to name. Okay, my opponent decided on Echo of Eons, which is probably a reasonable name. Oh, another Jeskai Ascendancy. That's cool. See if we get a Force of Will or Force of Negation here. Oh, we don't. And we're off. Alright, we are going to do the thing at least once this league. That is the good news. Bad news is, this is going to take a few turns. Gonna take some clicking. I can speed it up a bit by putting another Jeskai Ascendancy into play, though. So I'll target this Lotus Petal. Then I'll just play a Jeskai Ascendancy. Now I'll target the other Lotus Petal. Oh my god, why? Storm is 6. Maybe I can just find a Fate Stitcher and I can make more than 1 mana for 2 loots. Yeah, this is kind of miserable in terms of clicking through. Like, do I just pause the video and then when I like have done everything, do I just magically say like, "Oh, we did it"? I guess I get to Burning Wish pretty soon. Just Burning Wish for Grape Shot. While having Mystical Dispute up. I guess I can just discard this though. I want to keep looting and find something to let me do this faster. Alright, am I comfortable just casting the Burning Wish? And if my opponent counters it, I'll, No, my Storm count's not high enough to just Burning Wish for Grape Shot, unfortunately. Yeah, Jeskai Ascendancy is officially going on, I think, the no-fly list. This is miserable to click through online. Yeah, and I just can't, like, attack and win. If I find a Fate Stitcher, I can just tap down my opponent's creatures and then do it that way. But I have not managed to find one of those in first half of my deck. I regret this. Oh, thank God. It's a Fate Stitcher. So I will attempt to tap the Meddling Mage. My opponent will give it... Yes. And we'll find another one of these. I will cast this. Yes. Do that. Okay, now we're doing the thing. Okay, now I can just crash in for lethal. I have 25 damage. I can just ignore my storm count. We did it. We won. But at what cost? Um, like, now my opponent just knows to put Meddling Mage on Jeskai Ascendancy and I die. Uh, so there's that. Probably need the Swords to Plowshares, and I probably can't play anything else. I just need to, like, keep my engine as intact as possible. Assume that these aren't great. Well, yeah, I'm gonna assume that, like, there's some Thalia type stuff on the other side of the battlefield, and I'm not just gonna be able to use this as a 1-mana counterspell. I think I'd like to have a couple of Sighs in here that can, like, create some Thopters and give me an alternate win condition that doesn't require 37,000 clicks. And I think that's valuable. So I have a hand with the Jeskai Ascendancy and a Fate Stitcher. But I only have one land. I have two Brainstorms. Let's keep this and hope it works out. I assume this is like a Mom or a Vial. Okay. So this is the blue-white, basically humans deck. I think Mengucci featured this recently. I'm just going to do this on myself. It is a brainstorm, so I will probably just fetch that away rather than draw it. I also don't think I'm going to get the luxury to play around Wasteland this game. Like, I only have one land. I don't know that I have that stability, so it's going to take what I can get in terms of, like, trying to fix my mana. Yeah. I will have to bounce that with the fairy and then go off. Or Swords of Plowshares. Alright, Swords of Plowshares is very good here. Yeah, that is a very good hate bear against us. Like, probably the best hate bear against us. We need to do this now while the Caracas shields are down. And I'm going to use this to try and hit a land, rather than use it to try and start Jeskai Ascendancy. That's right. We put that other Teferi back as well when we use the first brainstorm. Alright, damage report. Damage has been done. That's a Thalia that's protected by Caracas, unfortunately. Now my Teferi isn't removal for this thing. It'll just keep hitting me. Fetch land. Good. I guess there was a line there where I consider just discarding Fate Stitcher to hand size. That's not crazy. Alright, we can concede here. I'll see if my opponent plays another card. Like, my opponent has either 5 or 6 power that's hitting me this turn. They play another creature, I can just be dead next turn. Alright, what do you have to recruit her for? Do you have, like, Sanctum Prelate? Alright, they're just going for lethal next turn, and I can't possibly win in one turn, so I can concede here. Yeah, I have 2 Swords of Plowshares plus, what, 2 Teferis to answer my opponent's Hate Bears that get in play, and I guess I can, like, slow roll and get a Grape Shot. I'm not super hopeful about my ability to win this game. So I have a Jeskai Ascendancy and a Fate Stitcher, but I only have 1 land, and I have 2 cards that are currently dead. Like, this Ponder needs to find 2 lands. I don't know. Like, with the Source of Plowshares here, maybe this becomes keepable because I can answer a first Hate Bear, but, like, these don't replace themselves. Uh, and that's rough. Alright, it has to be lands. Emry's actually pretty good. Yep, this is all fine. The next turn I can play Emry. I can go Mox, Amber, Emry. Instant. Burning Wish does not get instants, huh? Fuck. Alright. Well, that sucks. Feel like there needs to be a Burning Wish target that helps with this situation. Alright, we need to find a Teferi. I need a Teferi bounce that. And assuming I can do that, I can combo off pretty easily. We'll see what sort of awful thing comes next, though. I kill that. Alright, this is not any color. It makes colors for your legendary creatures or planeswalkers. It means I actually don't have red currently. Which is not great. Arrgh. I think my opponent is just going to have too much interaction for me to realistically combo off, but at least we got one on camera. Hello, Fourth Fate Stitcher. How are you today? You having a good day, bud? Having a good day? Uh, okay, that's fine. What comes afterwards, though? That's less fine. Now it's harder for me to actually play my answers. All right. I will concede to a second Hate Bear, I think. Because I can maybe brute force my way through Athalia, mathematically speaking. But if something else like a Meddling Mage comes down while this Grafdigger's Cage is still here, I'm done. Elite Spellbinder takes the Jeskai Ascendancy. I'm gonna toss in the towel here. The clock is swift enough, and like I have lost all hope of realistically winning this one. Okay, my opening hand here doesn't have a Jeskai Ascendancy or an Emry, and I think that means this is a mulligan. Well, we have a Jeskai Ascendancy on turn 2. I can't go off, but I have a Jeskai Ascendancy. I think that just means I keep this, and then we hope to piece together some things that make this work. Opponent is going down pretty deep. Maybe they'll play Reanimator, and I'll just mise them with this Caracas or something. All right, my opponent mulliganed to 5 and revealed Chancellor of the Annex, so we are indeed playing against Reanimator. 3 Tormod scripts in the sideboard. My opponent might just be passing priority here to see if I do anything. You're in combat. You're still in combat? There we go. So now the jig is up. They'll see that I have Caracas, so they might try to reanimate something like this instead, and I probably can't beat a Chancellor before it kills me. Okay, unsurprisingly, I lost the Jeskai Ascendancy there. So let's dig to something new. Alright. So I now know that my opponent has 2 fatties in hand. They didn't Thoughtseize themselves, so presumably they have a way to put one of those into the graveyard or an Entomb or something. They tapped red for Faithless Looting last turn in the middle of combat, so I think they have that. Oh, they can't go off yet. Now they can go off. Okay. Not technically dead to a Grizzlebrand. In that, like, I can, bounce it with Caracas, but it's pretty damn good against me. Just like draw 7 when I'm not pressuring your life total. Discard some fatties. Make a Chancellor the next turn. Bob's your uncle. I have so little interaction with my opponents. Yeah. Next game. Alright. I like Tormod's Crypt. Honestly, I'll probably play Sai as well. Just to have something that kills a little easier. My opponent doesn't have blue spells, so these come out for these, and then I'll trim one other card, like maybe a Mox Amber. Card hasn't looked particularly potent. There's other things like Nature's Chant, Sword Splashers, and Hydroblast that I can technically play, but I think every card that I take out from my combo is just damning because my combo is already pretty janky. Alright, my opponent mulliganed to 6, and I have a hand that lets me play Emry plus Tormod's Crypt on turn 1, which is pretty sick. Oh my god. I just hit all lands. That's so many lands. Oh, I guess I could have brainstormed in response to my Emry trigger to ditch my Fate Stitcher. What sees me? Guess it's a good thing I didn't know. But Fate Stitcher 2 down and Jeskai Ascendancy on top. And now either one of the cards you take isn't particularly potent. Alright, now I believe I just win. Red, blue, white. Okay, so just quick check. I cast Jeskai Ascendancy and then I get to untap Emry. It's on cast. So I need to tap Emry. That probably means exiling your graveyard first. Very awkwardly. Alright. Now my Emry on taps. I will make a mana with the Lotus Petal. Sack this, do the thing. Cast this, do this. Oh, geez, YouTube, the recording stopped. Oh, hey, the recording came back. I told my opponent that I was just going to whack them with a giant-sized Emry once I had demonstrated the loop a couple of times and they conceded. Alright. I don't think I need to change anything about my sideboarding. Unfortunately, like, on the draw, my Tormod's Crypt is a little bit less impactful. Alright, I don't think I can keep this hand. It can produce an Emry on turn 1, but I think I really need one of those Tormod's Crypts if possible. Or, and hear me out, 3 Tormod's Crypts. Keep all 3? Yeah, fuck it. Let's keep all three. This is probably like crazy person territory. But if my opponent can't go off on turn 1, Gigantha, your time to shine. Oh, they're just gonna make a Chancellor on turn 1. That's no good. Well, so much for my format script. Guess all three of these do nothing. And I can't just infinitely combo off via Jeskai Ascendancy because my A, I don't have lands. B, my graveyard is shut off, so I can't use that as a recurring resource. I'm just dead to that. Rough. So I have a Jeskai Ascendancy, and I have 2 redraws, but I have no ability to sculpt this hand. I'm not sure if this is actually a keep. Like, I presumably have 2 dead cards in this hand in a lot of matchups, and I don't have either color of mana to cast this to Teferi. Let's try to find something more stable. This is considerably better. Elves. Opponent says Gigantha, so no questing beasts then. No. But I do have other janky cards. ... Keep. Beast janky, how dare you, sir? Don't Thalia me. That's fine. I might be able to do the thing. Blue. Red. White. Alright, I'll discard that Fate Stitcher. Need a mana. The Mox Amber does not make a mana yet. It has a Swords to Plowshares. Not great for me. I think I'll call that a turn. I think we'll like start trying to go off next turn with this Fate Stitcher. And then my opponent can Swords to Plowshares that, and then we can get my Elk friend finally. Get him onto the battlefield. Make 5 mana at a time via Jeskai Ascendancy. And go from there. Oh god, I could also just get like Bojuka Bogged off an Elvish Reclaimer. Everything may be awful yet. Seems like it'll be a good Swords to Plowshares matchup. Or my opponent could just, like, put us to the test. They've held up one of those. All right, let's go. All right, well. We're gonna try to do the thing. I mean, my Mystical Dispute is not live for that currently. I only have 2 mana right now. All right, all I need to do is kill my opponent. It'd be easy. I also thought I untapped this island. Or no, I untapped the island, but I didn't float mana. I always yes this. No. Not always yes that. I guess I will cast Mox Amber. Loot away this Tundra. I'll untap those creatures. I have Banefire and Grapeshot. Uh, okay, so I guess I can tap down a Merit Lodge and stay alive. Yeah, that's a thing. That'll be my plan. I'll tap down a Merit Lodge. Can I just kill my opponent, actually? If I put another Jeskai Ascendancy into play and then cast a couple of spells? Yeah, what if I tap down both of these? Alright, I think I need to do, like, real people math here. So currently I have 6 total mana. And each spell I cast gives me 2 mana. So that's really like I have 10 total mana. Is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so I can tap my opponent's creatures, cast 3 more spells. Yeah, I think I could just kill my opponent. All right, so now I'm going to have 2 sets of untapped, so I need to turn off my auto yields. All right. I'll make mana, untap. Yes. Cast Burning Wish. Yes. Go ahead and untap that. And do this and untap that. This and this. Untap these. Do this thing again. Grab Grape Shot. Okay, this is just lethal, so I can go ahead and just now F6. My opponent has said, wow, I officially have no idea what's going on. That is fair, opponent. Okay. Um, Mystical Disputes need to come out. I need to board in 4 cards. That's probably 2 Swords of Plowshares for Merit Lodge, and then either maybe Size or Blood Moons. Blood Moons are interesting, but kind of slow. Size can provide a shit ton of colorless jump blockers, right? They are colorless. Yep. Colorless jump blockers. That sounds great. Let's go with this plan. It's possible I should board in the Blood Moons as well, but again, I don't think I can. Well, maybe Mox Amber's bad. Yeah, maybe Mox Amber is just bad because like it only really does something if you have Emry or Teferi. I could be convinced to do this. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, I have a turn 1 Emry this hand with the ability to recur a Bobble, and then I have a Sigh. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand, even though it's a little bit more mana light than I would like my hands to be. Fuck. So that's pretty good. So that keeps me from turn 1 Emry. I guess I also need to maybe think about boarding in the disenchants for the next game. Like maybe I'll sub those for the Blood Moons. I think I play the Emry first, and then I play Psy next turn. Mox Amber. Do I want to draw my card now? Now that I have this Emry in play, I probably just want to draw this card. We'll look to build a Thopter army, but slowly-ish. We can make some Thopters and then grow them with Jeskai Ascendancy for the lols. This is gonna be a weird game. Okay. That's fine. I have another Emry. And, like, I can just recur the Lotus Petal. I am totally good with recurring Lotus Petal right now. The Blood Moon, though? Blood Moon's a damn good turn. I think I just accept that. Let's go! My opponent might be able to get some basics here and, like, play some semblance of Magic. Yeah, I guess I'm, doing a love tap for 1 now. And then we'll play this, very slow burn of, like, Sai, Jeskai Ascendancy, plus looping a Lotus Petal. No, I hope they can't just, like, blow up the Blood Moon here. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright. Everything's fine. Lotus Petal, cast Lotus Petal. I'll have 2 thingy-majigs. And then I can Emry and look for fresh stuff. Or I can just recur this Bauble. Recurring the Bauble is probably better. Oh, I guess if I recur this, I'm not actually netting artifacts here. I'm fine with going down an artifact in order to fill my graveyard, maybe find a Fate Stitcher. I think so. Fate Stitcher is pretty darn good. Oh, that's a Fate Stitcher for later. Nice. The Jury Step doesn't get through my stuff, which is nice. I can also just rip my Caracas. That would be super fucking sick. Man, I would have gone so ham this game if not for Deafening Silence. Uh, I'm in relative danger of just dying. Like, this is just gonna get bounced. I can't easily play it again. I think my turn's doing that. Oh, I could have done that on their turn and then gotten one more card out of my graveyard. Yeah, that was a misplay on my end. Well, maybe not, because then Knight's active for Sejiri step. Yeah, I don't know how many Deafening Silences my opponent has, but if the answer is 3 or 4... Oh, this is going to be a collector oop, isn't it? Yeah, alright. I think I'm comfortable throwing in the towel there. Super unfortunate that they had, like, the ability to go plains and forest and had Knight of Autumn in hand, all to answer my Blood Moons. Alright. Do I want Nature's Chant so that I have outs to Deafening Silence, or do I just want to try to beat it in a fair way? Play him over Mox Amber? Play him over Mox Amber. I think. I don't know. This is an opening hand with a Brainstorm and the ability to try to fix this hand. This hand is very bad as is. It does nothing. I don't know if one Brainstorm saves this, even with another redraw. I think I'm going to try to mulligan aggressively and just find a hand that does something. Eh. Do I just have to keep this? Maybe I just have to keep this. I see a Plains. See a Dryad Arbor. I'm very sure this is getting a basic island, so I'm going to grab it now and not accidentally draw that card. Okay. Yeah. All right. I don't need this many lands. See if my opponent has access to a basic forest this turn. That will dampen the power of my Blood Moons significantly. Alright. I mean, there's a world where I can play a Jeskai Ascendancy, return a Gigantha to my hand, and like Nature's Chant the Deafening Silence. We'll see. But I'm not super hopeful. My graveyard could get nuked at any point via Elvish. No. Well, not right now. If I lose Blood Moon, I have to remember Bojuka Bog is a thing. Am I looking at Force of Vigor this turn? Is that what's going on? I probably don't want to play out Jeskai Ascendancy. I'll just floop this thing to my hand and play one of these baubles. Raucous. Alright, well, Blood Moon, please don't go away. We do shut off Flagstone's, damn it. We do shut off Flagstone's ability to, get my opponent an extra land. That's super tilting. So my opponent just had the Knight of Autumn again. I'm going to fetch to thin here. God damn it. And I can see if I have exactly Swords to Plowshares as the top card in my library. And then my opponent can just show me Sajiri Step, and I will concede. Alright, cool. Yes. Go. Oh, did they board it out? Did they board it out? Ah, oh, they might have boarded it out. Maybe I get a freebie. Nice. Oh, my opponent, like, just straight up did not find a land. Uh, that's an error. I think I'm relatively dead just to, like, the bodies that are on board. There's a very small chance that I can combo. To do that, I need to, like, Nature's Chant, destroy Deafening Silence. I can take 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage, go to 2. And then I need to, like, I don't know, draw the perfects. I probably need both my draw step and this Mishra's Bobble to hit things. Like, maybe like Fate Stitcher Lotus Petal gets there or something. Oh. Oh. That's Collector Roof. Alright. That eliminates the outs. Okay, well, that's us being eliminated from prize contention, and, I'm not gonna go in for another round of this deck. Um, this deck is not good. I think there are just some fundamental deck building issues here. Number one, Mystical Dispute should not be in this deck, in the main deck. This is a combo deck. This card against many decks is a 3-mana do nothing card. And against other decks, it's a 1-mana do something card, but often you can't afford that 1 mana because you're trying to like pay 3 mana for something and then continue to go off. So I don't know that I really like this card. Um, so when I played versions of this deck before, it used the draw 3 cards if like a library is half empty or something like that card. I forget exactly what it's called. Maybe Ancestral something. Someone in the YouTube comments will hit me up with what that card is actually called. And it was just a way to like draw 3 cards and refuel because I have no real source of card advantage here. I have a lot of looting because of Jeskai Ascendancy, and I have 7 cards that break even. But like, we're not even playing the full playsets of Ponders in our deck that has to have Jeskai Ascendancy in order to combo off. And we're not playing something like, you know, whatever that blue 1-drop card is in order to go and like refuel and really like get ahead. Similarly, Mox Amber does basically nothing other than being a 0-cost artifact that you can like loop with Emry if you have 2 of them. I think this card is very bad. Like maybe you play like a Ponder, another Bauble, 4 copies of that 1 cantrip, and maybe like 2 Preordains or something like that, and then like maybe you have a better chance of going off with Fate Stitcher as well. It was really hard to try to go off with Fate Stitcher and like actually fully combo. One of the times we actually got a kill, it was just because we tapped down our opponent's stuff, grape shotted for a little bit, and then hit him with 2 Fate Stitchers to finish off. But if I actually need to do 20 with one of these, I don't know that I'm getting there. I just did not feel like this deck list set me up for success. I felt like I was a worse Emry deck than Urza Echo. I felt like I was a worse Jeskai Ascendancy deck than like a lot of the modern versions that were running around. And I don't know, I just felt like I had too many do nothing cards. It like the deck's kind of cool when it gets going, but it's also just a pain to click through. So I don't know that I recommend this deck list. Something that didn't come up this league, but something that I think is important. If you're gonna play an expensive win condition, try not to make it blue because like Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast are relatively common sideboard cards for a lot of decks. So in addition to just like those cards being good against our cantrips and Fate Stitchers and Emrys, it's also good against one of our other primary win conditions. Overall, I don't feel like this strategy is currently good in Legacy. And I think even if you adjusted this deck list, this is maybe not ideal. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this nevertheless. We did, you know, air quotes, do the thing a couple of times, and I hope that was enjoyable. Have a great rest of the day, and, you know, throw me a like or a comment if you have anything to say.